What's going on, everybody? Another opinionated off topic. Today we're outside in beautiful Austin, Texas, in Zilker Park, native park of Austin, Texas. We're sitting down with Marlon Smith, owner of ALLINFIT. Got the mobile truck behind us. You can kind of see everything he's invested into this truck. Got Carlos to the right of me, Bert behind the boards on production. But excited for this interview. Met you, a couple years ago at one of the Riser events. Shout out to Matt Worthington. And, we've kind of seen each other at numerous networking events since then. And, it was just, talking to you, seeing a professional, a black man like yourself, just kind of seeing what you're doing and just wanted to dive into more of who you are and what you got going with your business. So thank you for having us.
Man, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I mean, like him, I met you a few years ago, and I mean, it was once and it was brief, but I was telling him, I mean, I'm excited to do this because, as I said off camera, it's our first podcast outside, and it's cool to see your truck live in action because it was just set up at the Riser event, but to have people come and stop by and do a little workout or do pull-ups and see how it all works out, it's dope. But just give us a brief backstory about yourself and how you got to doing what you're doing today.
Man, bro. So, been an athlete my whole life. Born and raised in San Antonio. And, went to college, played at UTSA, played football there, and then played basketball at St. Mary's. But, man, I always kind of, envisioned myself having, my own business and everything. Unfortunately, after college, getting hurt, playing in the CFL and everything like that. I told y'all off camera that I played with the Commanders, but pretty much at that time was the end of my career due to my back injury. But yeah, man. So just like all athletes, kind of struggle transitioning into that next thing. I dealt with that myself. Didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. I just kind of knew football was my whole life. And so, naturally, man, I wanted to build a brand of something that I didn't have to stop training like an athlete. I didn't have to stop being, that professional athlete I was or whatever. So that's kind of what launched this, man. We've been blowing and growing since.
What's the biggest adjustment you had to make playing in the CFL?
So being an defensive end, you got to be a yard backed off. So that was the huge advantage for the tackles,
Yeah.
So you're already a yard off.
Yeah.
It's already tough enough to get to the quarterback. So that was one thing. Also, 3 downs instead of 4. So, you're out there. You get out there playing on defense. You get out there a lot quicker. The field was longer. The field was wider. So it's really built didn't really have our defensive line. Probably the average weight is 275, 280.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you got to be able to move out there. So that was probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
Did you try to go to the NFL, or is it you just went to Canadian this is where I'm meant to be?
I did, man. So I played for the Ottawa RedBlacks. I was there for 2 years. And then I thought I did well enough. I had good enough stats. I had good film from college. Little backstory to that is I actually missed my last year. I actually got kicked off the team.
Oh, wow.
It's something I'm very open with now. It's been 15 years now since that happened. But so I missed my last year. I had records there and everything. I don't know if y'all know Marcus Davenport.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Coach Rohr was my coach at the time. I was pretty much the Marcus Davenport before he came what he became.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was a little bit behind, right? So I ended up missing 2 years before going to the CFL. So that was always the plan. I knew I had the abilities, I had the stats, I had the work ethic, all those things. And so I played for 2 years, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to try to get my shot at the NFL. My mistake was not having an agent. So I had a guy to help me out with film. I was like, no, I don't need an agent. And anyways, nothing really came through for me. So I decided to get one more year in the CFL, signed for 1 year. And that's when everything came coming down, man. I got cut twice in that year in the CFL. And then that's when I eventually got to the Commanders. The Commanders was my launching pad to getting to the NFL, being that the GM was Daryl Johnson. He blocked for Emmitt Smith. He's a Hall of Fame fullback. And then that ended up not working out in my back injury. So, yeah, I definitely tried, man. But You know, God had different plans.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it works out like that. Like I mentioned on camera, I played baseball, and you know the plan's always to go to college for whatever sport you're playing.
Yeah.
And the summer of before going to college, I ended up tearing my labrum pitching, and that was just kind of it, you know. And I mean, sometimes you're just meant to go, sometimes you're not, and you know, like you said, God has different plans for everybody, and that's just not what He wanted me to do. And now here we are doing this, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
for sure.
at the moment in time, it sucks. It's like you only see that moment in time, but now you probably have a passion project that you love doing, and you love coming out here, meeting people, talking to people, working out with people, and also changing their life in a good way.
100%.
Yeah. So, you know, take us through after you know, get done playing football. I can definitely relate to that because it's such a no man's land for a lot of athletes. You know, you're really at the top of your peers, right? You know, people you go to school with, things like that. You know, you're kind of looked at as, you know, on a higher level, you know, for lack of a better term. So going from that and, you know, getting back into the real world and kind of finding your path, did you like study anything like kinesiology or anything like that? Or did you just go right into training?
Man, so I went pretty much like right into training. Like even when I was in the CFL, I was already like training athletes. But you know, my passion is, you know, kind of building the team and building a business. So I would say I'm more business focused than like trainer.
Okay.
But obviously you got to learn that trade, get yourself involved, you know, get those skills. But man, be honest with you, you know, the transition was a challenge because I felt like I was still playing football. So that was like one thing. But as far as like the transfer over to like the quote unquote real world or starting something, that wasn't as challenging. I was always like that weird kid that was like, you know, when we had film study or like in between, like say we have like special teams meeting or defense and like, all right, defense, you go out, we're going to meet. And we're like in the hallway waiting for the next meeting. I was a guy that was reading the book. You know, I was a guy that like people would look at like, bro, what you reading today? Like that type of thing. And, you know, one of my teammates in college a long time ago introduced this book to me. It's called Unfair Advantage by Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was a sophomore, man. That's when my mind kind of expanded into what's possible. So, you know, and I got very blessed when I started doing what I'm doing now to be around a lot of business owners, a lot of CEOs. Those are like my main clientele. So, you know, I had the benefit of growing my business, which I wanted to do was like really scale the mobile fitness. It's a tough business. It's a lot of driving, it's a lot of time. You know, a lot of people weren't doing it, but I decided I wanted to lean into that. So I got to grow that, and I also got to learn from them. So then the transition was just challenging because I would be having those dreams. You know, I'm tackling somebody, all the things I'm sure you've had, right?
Yeah. No,
and
for sure.
you know, and I'm just now at the point where it's like I don't really have those dreams anymore, not as frequent. But yeah, bro, I get to do this, and I feel like I'm still playing the game, just on a different field.
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest part for you to like when you train people to train them for like just good health instead of like football training?
I didn't take that approach. Our motto, my motto, was like everything I learned from being a professional athlete. Not only can I benefit from it in my business, but my clients can too. So I've had probably the average age of my clients when I was doing one-on-one, like semi-private. It's probably 45, 50 years old. They'll all tell you they were doing the stuff I was doing when I was training for football, kind of. I mean, not too crazy, right? But, you know, we're training for general health, but I wanted them to actually go to the mindset of being competitive again. There's a book that I read called The Corporate Athlete. That's a really good one. Shoe Dog, that's another good one, where Phil Knight pretty much built Nike off of that concept, like, you know, the shoes and all that, and then honoring great athletes. That's what Nike's about more than the shoe. So, you know, that's what I set out to do. And so it wasn't really hard for me, man. I just kind of stuck to what I knew. I'll never claim to be like this, you know, fitness guy with all these certifications. I was an athlete, and that's challenging in itself. You know, you got to work hard, you got to film study, all those things. So I would just try to pack that into, you know, 45 minutes to an hour in a session. And just give them something that they, you know, not used to. So
yeah, and
that's how I took it.
And I feel like too, like as you're saying, with the training and everything like that, like there's so many, especially nowadays, so many health gurus, so many fitness coaches. You see all this content online, things like that. And I think we really can separate that stuff is really just like being intentional, the community aspects, and then also just having the experience of being a former athlete. Because I've always been kind of one of those people, whether that's, talking heads with sports or, even just like training with someone else, if they never did it at a high level, at least for me psychologically, it's always been hard for me to like kind of take it serious, and I think that kind of gives you that credibility. You list these accolades of playing at a Division I school, and then also, playing pro football, which is even a smaller percentage of people that get to do that. And now you're able to transition this into the business, as you've been saying, is a different form of like competitive, the spirit and opportunity. I feel like that's something that we've talked about in the past, having people on the podcast or, talking to you right now. Former athletes usually in business are more successful because there's a level of like, adversity and struggles that we've had to go through, just playing a game.
Right. It teaches you how to lose to win.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
So, you just got to hit that switch though. Like you got to realize that, like, hey, what I learned from this, I can transfer over. So, all praise due to God that I've kind of learned that. But, unfortunately, some of my teammates didn't really have that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can definitely benefit from all those things. So, yeah.
And then, like you said, like it is interesting to see that, different dynamic. I same way. I have teammates that are, crushing, very successful, and I have some teammates that aren't as successful, right? Maybe the approach of the athlete life, it's, kind of put them in sunken places, right? So it's cool to see people uplift each other and do things incredible.
Question
100%.
for y'all. Are y'all able to notice that? Like, obviously, when you're in college, you're still a kid yourself. But, like, are you able to notice kind of, like, who's going to have a better life for themselves versus who's not? When y'all, like, in the locker room and then just, being around the guys that you're around all the time?
So,
What's your answer?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
A while back, man, not even a while back, I'm sorry. I just heard this recently. I forgot who was talking about it. Dr. Umar Johnson. I've seen him. That guy. That's who it was.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the difference between, black families and the white families. Can I go there real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. He was saying that the white families kind of like push them, right, to be in sports because what we just talked about, you learn a lot of things in sports. You learn work ethic. You learn consistency. You learn how to be a good teammate. You learn good habits. Like all those things are transferable to life, right? Transferable skills. And for the black families, in a general sense, right? Like my family wasn't like this particularly. But in a general sense, it's like it's the league or nothing. You know what I mean? It's like I make it or nothing. And I do think that type of mentality is flawed, right? Because, I mean, you're dealing with statistics, numbers that are not on your side, regardless of how good you are. So many things can happen. Look at what happened to Boobie Miles. Like, all these things, right? Get hurt, whatever. So I've seen it because you see the guys that weren't taking their school as seriously or they kind of just you see it. I don't know if you
No,
see it.
yeah, to piggyback off of that is, there's like little things too, like being late in college to meetings, not showing up on time, getting told the same things over and over again, not being coachable, just not taking things seriously, losing a game and laughing or losing a game and talking about, oh, we're about to go out, talking about the plans after, not, really taking that stuff serious, right? And I think, you can kind of see those, and obviously, yes, you're younger and, more immature, but there's also just like an approach to things. It's like, no, we got to get better. Like, we're losing. Like, I'm tired of losing. It's like if you are going through jobs and you keep getting fired and whatnot, it's like, are you going to take accountability and look at yourself and be like, there's a reason why this is happening to me, and instead of pointing fingers and, blaming, either the company or whatever your situation is, it's like, how do I improve and like make sure like this doesn't happen and learn from it, So I think there's all kind of like tangible, to answer your question, there's all kind of
100%.
things you will see like in former teammates or stuff that can kind of relate. And then, a lot of people grow and learn, but you can also see like, there's a reason why too. You kind of look back at some things and like, okay, this is making sense and it lines up. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought about it. I was like, I wonder if like in your college? Because we're all kids ourselves still at that point. But do you think y'all, and y'all's mindset at the point y'all were in time, do y'all think y'all kind of gravitated away from those kind of teammates and like went to other certain friends because they're more mature and you kind of saw that maturity in them and they wanted more for themselves, also for the team?
Man, you know what? So for me personally, I was, like I said, I was kind of the weird guy. I was very disconnected, man. That's what kind of landed me with missing my last year. So, I mean, I was a guy that worked hard on the field. I loved learning, you know what I mean? But I was kind of like disconnected from a lot of people. So I wasn't necessarily with the kids that were making the A's and, you know, going to whatever, all these different seminars, anything like that. I also wasn't with the kids that were, you know, whatever, in the streets, like, per se. I just kind of did my own thing. That's my personal story with that.
Yeah, I would say, you know, it just kind of depends on, you know, because everyone grows at their own timeline or approach. And I would say it's just kind of what you figure out and what you want for yourself, right? Like if you're okay with being like average or mediocrity and, you know, kind of coping, you know, doing some things, you know, going out, partying or, you know, things like that, then that's kind of like the path you'll go down. But if you can evolve and like, hey, like, I like, you know, take accountability, look in the mirror, like I'm not satisfied with where I'm at. Like I need to be around better people. Like iron sharpens iron. I feel like a lot of people, you know, they always say the 5 people that are closest to you or you have the most conversations with, you know, that's the iron sharpens iron. And that it's true, right? Like if you're around a bunch of people who are kind of just going through the motions, don't want to accomplish things, but maybe internally you want to, you know, build something like this or build something like we've built, you know?
Yeah.
You're not going to continue to elevate that and grow that. And you're going to kind of plateau if you're not, you know, constantly having conversations like this or, you know, making yourself uncomfortable and doing some challenging things. So, yeah.
With you being disconnected from everything while you're at UTSA and missing that last season, you getting kicked off, how much did that help you as a person? And then how much did that help you and what you're doing now and trying to help others?
Yeah. You know what, man? It's I just give it all to God, man, because, like, I kind of just see all this stuff and how it's full circle. You know, when it first happened, you know, background stories, like with UTSA, I had school records there. You know, I still have probably the number 1 in, like, single game record there, 3rd or 4th all. So, I mean, I was doing really well there. And on top of that, I was, you know, born and raised in San Antonio, played basketball with Jordan Clarkson, all the things, right? So whenever that happened, it was embarrassing, right? Like that was very tough and very tough on me and then also my family and friends and all that. And I was still going to school. So I would still walk to school and everything after being like, you know, kicked off. It was in the paper. But I would never forget this, man. My mom, at the time, she worked at my high school. And Mr. Fields, shout out Mr. Fields, he was a principal. And my mom worked in administration there at the high school. And so when that happened, he told my mom that, like, he thinks this is rock bottom. This ain't rock bottom. And that was almost, 16, 15 years ago. And he was right. I had a lot of growing to do even after that. You know what I mean? And so now I'm at the point where I can look back on that because I got to walk around knowing that I was like that guy. I in my mind, I was a first-round draft pick. And if you talk to people that like see me play, if you look at my film, they would agree. And that's, it was written. I screwed that up. So I've had to be humbled. Going into the CFL was cool, but that's not where I thought I'll end up at, right? Then getting cut in the CFL my 3rd year. That was really not cool. You know what I mean? And so, and then, starting what I'm doing now and just going through just the ups and downs and the letdowns and all that stuff, right? Being humbled. So it's like I know that I'm capable of much more, right? But I'm not saying me missing my last year put me behind the 8-ball, but I'm saying that, like, experiencing that loss at that level, going into other things and going to what I'm doing now has made me a resilient person. And it's made me a person that's been, humbled, like I said, right? I got to walk around knowing that, like, man, I feel like I'm here. I feel like I'm be doing much more than I'm doing, but I'm also here. And I gotta get it how I get it. You know what I mean? I gotta get low sometimes. It ain't easy building a company. And so, man, God is good, bro. I'm actually giving a testimony in my church tomorrow, just about all that. So,
Nice.
just kind of just,
Amen.
You asked some really good questions because it's bringing it back full circle.
So going from there and like actually diving in with ALLINFIT, we talked off camera and you said you really gotten into, house call training and things like that during COVID. Kind of walk us through like what was that journey like? It was obviously a difficult time for everyone, but kind of especially in the health and wellness space, there wasn't any gyms, there wasn't any memberships. A lot of people, made home gyms and things like that. So how was like kind of that transition for yourself?
Yeah, man. It was tough in the beginning. Like I think COVID happened March
of 2020 is when it was like official. Like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think December I had my exit meeting when I told you I was working at Lifetime.
Yeah.
I started ALLINFIT. A lot of people don't know this. I officially started ALLINFIT February in San Antonio, Bexar County. All the things. I was doing that, and then I came to Lifetime because, it takes a while for things to jump off.
Absolutely.
So I started working at Lifetime, started cutting my teeth, training, business owners, CEO types individuals, learning from them. And it was cool, man. And I was like, damn, I'm acquiring these skills. I'm an onboarding specialist now. My first year went really well, kind of went pretty quickly. Then COVID happened. So I was like, dang, I gotta, basically stop all that what I was doing. I still had some clients like that were pretty far, and all that. But I would say right around April, May, I did one post with my client, Ray Walter. Shout out to Ray Walter, man. Great guy. It was a sign. It says, we bring the gym to you. And I was posted up next to the sign, and my client Ray was on the other side of it. And we posted that. He lived in Crystal Falls. And man, phone just was ringing like crazy. Back to back, man. I was signing people up on PNF Paid in Fulls. It was awesome. Like, okay. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
And ever since then, man, I've been 100% on my own. This is all I've done. There's been some dips in there, especially when we decided to kind of take things to this level. But, during that time, man, it took about a month and a half of really just having the faith that things are going to work out. Because my plan was, build up Lifetime, be there at least to the end of the year before COVID happened, and then go full time. So sometimes things happen where it forces your hand, right? And I had to go all in. So it worked out for me.
Did you started All In before Lifetime, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Started in February, yeah.
So before you went to Lifetime, did you want to go to a higher end exclusive gym just because of the type of people it brings in that will benefit you, or is that's just kind of where you found yourself?
Man, great question. So, what happened was, my wife now, she actually, I might not even been in Austin, man. She actually motivated me to move to Austin. Thank God for that. But one of my auntie, Shirley Bates, I call her my nana. She super connected. One of our cousins was like an exec there at Lifetime. So I talked to her, told her about my background being in the CFL, how I got cut, how I got hurt. I've been doing training, but it's taking some time. She was like, look, why don't you come in under this program to Lifetime, right? I didn't tell y'all this before, but before that, I was training, like a lot of guys came playing football, I was training, football athletes.
Yep.
That's what I was doing in San Antonio. I had maybe a couple, gym pop clients, general population type clients, but I was training athletes. So, yeah, fast forward, I don't know why, I was kicking and screaming from San Antonio to come to Austin.
Sheesh.
But finally I agreed.
Yeah.
And I came through, and I knew that, I did my research. I knew that Lifetime was the higher end gym. I really wasn't thinking about the type of clients. So ALLINFIT kind of grew into the brand that it is now, kind of randomly, honestly. I started really enjoying, because as I told you before, I kind of had the business mindset, and I always, when people ask me this, it's well, when I was a trainer, I wasn't really in the trainer mindset. I was in the, like we got work done, but I was trying to learn from these people I was coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Cause they just had so much knowledge, so much game. You know what I mean? I had dreams and all that type of stuff. So eventually, I'm like, why don't I train them like athletes? You know what I mean? And so that's kind of like how that started. So yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
What have been some of the key differences from like, you know, being born and raised in SA, you know, playing college football there, and then even living there after, you know, you were done playing and starting your, you know, your career, your business there, and then taking that leap of faith and moving to Austin, to where we were talking off camera. And I think I've seen like posts on Instagram, like Austin is considered one of the healthiest cities in the U.S., if not number one right now. You have everyone, you know, wanting to be healthy, wanting to be fit. I mean, we're in Zilker Park. I'm seeing people just run around. We had people up here or come up here earlier, hit the pull-ups.
Yeah.
And the same people started a run club
a run club. You know, so you got all these things and all these communities in Austin. I mean, you got a bunch of health brands, activations all the time.
Crazy.
How much more beneficial has it been with ALLINFIT moving to Austin and kind of planting your roots here?
Man, it's perfect for what I do. You know, now, especially now that I have the truck and it's more of a community thing. You know, we're in the parks, we're in, you know, business parks and all that. Aside from the health aspect of this being number one, the entrepreneurial
as well,
world is crazy here. You know, every time I'm here, like I meet so many people just randomly. You know, we just met some folks.
Just met some folks.
Yeah. So it was like, you know what I mean. So, you know, San Antonio is a different city, man.
Slower.
It's slower, and contrary to number one health city, they're the number one in obesity.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's changed, but like it's slower pace. You know, things take a little bit more time to catch on. The entrepreneurial culture is a little different. It's geographically different. In Austin, you can go to one spot, boom, they everywhere. And so, you know, being out here is definitely. I mean, I just thank God for that, because when I left from San Antonio and came to Lifetime, I'm still building on ALLINFIT. I still had clients in San Antonio that I was training. I was going back there 3 times a week.
Wow.
This grinding, dog. I was just like, I needed all my yams. Like, you know, I was like, I don't want to leave that. And thank God that same guy, Ray Walter, one of my clients, actually set me up with a coaching session. Coaching is huge, right? And this guy was like, he was a business coach, but he was also like somewhat of like a prophetic, you know, very spiritual. And he was like, you need to leave San Antonio alone. You think that you like missing out on money and all that, whatever, but like you need to get focused. Leave San Antonio alone. Took his advice, and then things took off. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm in, you know, ALLINFIT is in the perfect city to grow and expand this concept, for sure.
So, opposites kind of what he said. What have been some of the struggles that you experienced also being fitness, and also because it is such a big fitness community, and it's a different type of fitness. You have CrossFit, you have bodybuilders, you have people just want to maintain good health, but you have gyms like the Collective that just built that brand new Gold's Gym on it.
Lifetimes are everywhere.
Lifetimes, ATX, Lift ATX. So stuff like that. So with all these, I don't want to use the word exclusive. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But just more popular gyms. How has that been for you and your business?
Yeah, man. You know, it's noisy, right? There's a lot of noise out there. You got to pierce through that through various ways. Obviously, being consistent. You know, and then finding like, you know, who is you're going to be your raving fan. So for us, we're about getting outdoors. Outdoors is healthier. All right, so that does give us a little bit of advantage. We also have the mobile gym, which no one has to this degree. So that's one advantage. And then our model, right? Training like an athlete. You come here, you're going to get a little bit of that. So those are advantages, but at the same time, it's a very specific type of avatar, right? So it's challenging, of course, because this is like a, how do you say it? Like a pebble in the ocean type thing. A lot of people see it and they love it. They're like, man, this is so dope. I didn't even know you exist. I mean, every time I had this out here, right? I take it anywhere. Didn't know you exist. Didn't know you exist. because there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but this is also a very niche concept. So, sometimes it takes the market time to catch up. Now, there is other concepts out there that have been doing outdoor workouts. Camp Gladiator is one.
Yep.
People know of them. And there's other mobile concepts, but they're more residential.
Yeah.
Our truck is massive, so it's like about 30 feet long. It's 11 feet 4 inches tall, and so there's a lot of places that we could fit this. Number one, but man, I just try to stay consistent and be authentic to who we are. I was just having that conversation a couple of days ago with my wife. Shout out to my wife. She, we started this together. So it's a family brand, and and we just said, look, no matter what happens, we're gonna go down or up, being ourselves. Of course, we learn from all of the popular like gyms and all that.
Yeah.
Collective obviously killing it. That's more in line with the type of people we look for. People that like are athlete mindset. They want to kick ass in business. They want to kick ass in in fitness. They want to kick ass as a husband and father. That's me, and that's what we try to bring to life with our concept. So just like any other business, in a lot of ways it's challenging, but just sticking to what we know. It's starting to catch on a little bit. Every now and then, it's like, wow, that person fits exactly what we're looking for to be a raving fan. So it takes time. We're going into our second year next month.
Do y'all have how would you say it? Not like an interview, like a meet and greet type process? Like, the type of client you want. If somebody doesn't fit that, do y'all still bring them on, or you kind of, keep that out the way?
Meet and greet.
Like a consultation type thing.
Okay, so for our like group fitness stuff, we don't. It works similar to, the boutique style like fitness clubs, not fitness clubs, but gyms. So like say like an Orange Theory, or like Studio 3, F45. They're not really doing consults like that. Because it's like like you come in there, you try the class, you like it, you get a membership. Right now we do have our other side where it's called like we have a sales process, a funneling, and all that type of stuff for our corporate side, in which we call that our business athlete program. So for that, it's like, hey, we have an offer, we have a consultation to kind of figure out. We're looking for something specific for that, for
Gotcha.
sure. Now, as far as like group fitness stuff, we ain't gonna turn nobody away. But like you'll find out quickly when you take our class, like, because we don't claim to be for all fitness levels. We're like, you gonna come here, you might get pushed a little bit, whatever. Don't run away. Come back. We're gonna do this together.
For sure.
I mean, that's a good thing because fitness says, collective says all fitness levels, but.
Oh, you're talking about the community? Yeah. That stuff is definitely hard and challenging. They need to like forewarn people because, listen, like they started, shout out Kyle Sluga, he's the new High Rocks coach. They started a High Rocks class on Tuesdays. And I mean, there's people I know that are that train that for that actively, and they're struggling in those. So, no, that's good. But I really like what you were saying about like the corporate kind of business level, because that was something that I was kind of thinking of. There's a lot of startups in town, there's a lot of even corporate businesses in town, and you obviously have all the equipment, you're mobile, and a lot of business people are super busy. They have to have scheduled times where they work out, if that's in the evening, if that's super early in the morning, if that's during lunch. So I feel like having something like this is mobile, and if you can get in those certain doors, you're like, hey, we're going to bring the truck for 4 hours early in the morning at this, startup office, or during lunchtime hours, and boom, you can get it in here. You don't got to go drive to the gym or co-work if you're in office 5 days a week. I feel like that's a very unique idea and concept that most people don't have or could offer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We try to, that's why we call it our business athlete program. We're really trying to, not trying, we are different.
Yeah.
Like this is not no corporate wellness thing.
Yeah.
When you come with us, like we gonna push you, we're gonna challenge your team. And you want that. Cause like I like to look at the things that don't show up on the P&Ls. Like you might spend a little bit of money on marketing, whatever, right? And you see like your return on that. It's kind of hard to see like your return on like doing this fitness program or whatever, right? but you start to feel it. You feel the culture change in your team. You know, First Form is a good example of that. First Form, Andy Frisilla, got to start at 75 hard.
Yep. Shout out to that challenge.
Yeah. I've done it 3 times.
I've done it once. I'm thinking about doing it again, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know, man. We might start it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, great team, right? You got somebody that's a leader there that gets it, that now is investing that into his team. So they have a really good culture there, right? That doesn't show up on your P&Ls per se. But we all can agree if you train, right, you do 100 push-ups a day, are you not going to get bigger? Something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you put $50,000 into marketing, yes, it can work out for you, right? You're going to get something out of it. But it's trial and error. You got to figure it out, right? I mean? And so, most definitely, man. It's convenient. We're outdoors. So that's the aspect because, like, after being indoors all day, for me personally, if I'm working in the cubicle or whatever, I want to get out.
Yeah.
So, 100%, bro.
And there's like a lot of, like me and Carlos work from home. Bert, he's in office as well 5 days a week. So, I mean, even just like he had said, this being our... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel that.
Yeah.
And like, us, like you were saying, this being our first podcast outside, like even doing something like this, like, feels good. It feels good to have that sun hit you, even just like doing more outside workouts. Cause like you can sweat and all that in a gym, but sometimes even for me, I like some gyms, no AC, garage style, like old school. Like sometimes you like that grind, like it just makes you feel like you're working a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So,
So, take me through this gym.
Yeah.
What was the mock-up like trying to design this thing, and how did y'all even get it together? I mean, because it's cut to how y'all want it cut, and the walls are pushed back as far as I guess the measurements go. But how difficult was it to design something like this?
Yeah. So to keep it a buck with you, we did not design this. We bought this from a manufacturer essentially. So they essentially came up, with the concept. Now, we went live with this in 2023, right? Next month will be 2 years. The seed for this was planted 2018. It took a guy on Facebook to remind me about that. I kind of forgot. He's like, bro, I remember you were talking about this 28. I was like, damn, that's right, I was. But before we kind of found them, I was doing research to like figure out like what else is out there and can we make this ourselves? And if we do, what does that look like, right? How much time is that going to take? What's going to be the learning curve on that, et cetera? Well, I came across a company and, they build these out. And we basically went up there to talk with them about it. We wanted to see what it looked like in person. Man, make a long story short, we're like, look, we're in Austin. Like, if y'all sold any, no, cool. We became their first customer, brought this to market here in Austin. Obviously, all the branding, we white labeled it, all that stuff. And so the process is rather smooth, but we definitely, like, I envision our next concert is going to be way different.
And we are outside. Have you ever thought about adding like a cold plunge with it as well? Like so people cold plunge, before workout or after
Sauna.
workout.
Yeah.
I was thinking about sauna too, but I was like hauling that and fitting it outside. I wonder how that would be. But cold plunging?
I did think about that, man. I thought about maybe even having just an exclusive recovery type of truck. Because before we started this, and it's been, I feel like God takes you through a process of getting focused. Like, I had to focus. I'm like the kite. My wife's the string. So like I'm the guy that's like, hey, we can fly over here. We can go far, baby.
Yeah.
She's like, like
yeah,
she pulls it in
for sure. Yeah.
She likes to keep your eyes where your feet are.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But we're a great team. But yeah, I thought about that because like the original plan was that I wanted to be kind of like the lifetime fitness of mobile fitness services. So what you get at Lifetime, I want you to be able to get with us. You get the truck, you can get cold plunge, you get the sauna. I thought about it all. Now I quickly learned that it's challenging to do both at the same time. Now we do have the office that could be maybe turned into a sauna. But honestly, man, just the maintenance work and all
Yeah.
that with like managing it. And I got a homeboy that owns a mobile sauna in Cold Plunge, and you know, seeing what he does to set it up, and we got to set up the workout. You know what I mean? It's a lot of time. So, you know, maybe, but for now, we're just gonna keep it to the fitness.
We're already also in a sauna in this Texas heat, so
Yeah,
there's
sure.
that as well. You're already
Exactly.
sweating everything out.
sure.
You good? You good?
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Who's your homeboy that has the sauna and cold plunge?
Andres.
Andres.
He owns Sweat City Mobile.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We actually kind of basically started this together. Like I found him on Instagram. I'm like, hey babe, look, like this is a mobile sauna. Like, it was the first one I seen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we got together, man. He's been very helpful, and we kind of like, you know, help each other out. But yeah, Sweat City Mobile.
I don't know if y'all have seen it, but they're opening up I think it's called the Sauna House. It's over there off of Burnett and like 49th Street or something like that. But I think it's like getting built right now, but it's like a little house.
Yeah.
It's called the Sauna Houses, and they're just, I guess you can just go in there and sauna.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a ton of like places that have like sauna, cold plunge options. Like you have all these different, you know, wellness places, and then you also have them built into the gym. So it's like, it's kind of interesting to me because there's like it's like you can just get a gym membership and then have both. And then I know there's people that are like, well, my gym doesn't have this, but then I like get this membership here that has sauna, cold plunge only, recovery only. So I definitely think it is like all about convenience too, because like you're saying, if you can partner with somebody and have it in the same place instead of, you know, having a membership at like, you know, Golds per se, which, you know, some Golds have saunas, but they don't have cold plunges, and you gotta go drive 15 minutes over here to go cold plunge. Like it kind of, you know, takes away from that inconvenience portion of it. And then a lot of people like contrast therapy. They like to be able to do it, you know, simultaneously, back and forth.
100%.
So
Even though you have a buddy that has the mobile sauna and cold plunge, are you still open to like working with other people who like do the same type of stuff, like throwing an event? Because one of our buddies that we had on, I drew blank on his name.
Jacoby,
yeah.
I knew that's what you're talking about. I haven't met Jacoby personally. The guy that I'm telling you about, my homeboy Andres, he done stuff with Jacoby, so like,
Nice.
you know, it's all love.
That's a homie. We had him on the pod a year or two ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so super cool dude.
I hear nothing but good things about him.
He does a lot of events, so he has multiple. Because you said this could hold 36 people, and then he has multiple cold plunges that, you know,
Yeah, and I
they
think
can
he's trying
set
to
up.
do more like smaller events too. So I feel like that'd be a good connection, you know. He has all that, and then you have this. It's like a good.
Absolutely, yeah. I've seen some film of what he's done, and you know, he's going out to Lakeway and stuff. People that had that space, and so we want to be able to do things like that. Bachelorette, birthdays, wedding parties. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what your other homie. That's what that ranch was, right?
Who?
The one from Houston that was in finance.
Oh, Jacob Ag.
Yeah.
Jag. Yeah, he was working with. I think his name's Dylan, the creator of ProMix, one of the founders of ProMix.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So he was. They have a ranch out in Leander that had like a bunch of stuff.
Cedar
and some
Park
events.
Ranch?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
So look, I follow Devin.
Yeah, Devin, not Dylan. Devin.
Oh,
yes.
Devin. Okay,
yeah.
you met him?
I haven't met him, but
Okay.
one of my homies that I'm friends with, he was his intern for a little while and worked under him and learned the stuff from him. We had him on the pod as well, and
Yeah.
You emailed him, right? You've been in contact through email?
yeah, I've talked to him through email, and then his business owner Albert, of ProMix, co-founders. So yeah, they talked to them a couple times. Yeah, just
Yeah, the branding on that is bananas.
man, they're and everything's super clean ingredients. You know, no free shout outs, but you know, I'll shout out to them. But they got, you know, great ingredients, very clean, healthy, and I just like, you know, there's a lot of supplement companies that are just like super manufactured and they just kind of mass produce things. You can tell there's like a little bit of like care in there. There's like changing new products and whatnot, and you know, there's a lot of different things for people who have all kind of different needs. You know, because people could be healthy, but like you might have deficiencies in this area that this person doesn't. You know, you could look the exact same. You know,
Right.
so
100%.
Well, yeah, that is something that they do. They have that ranch out there. It's like different parties out there, or company outings, where you can do all that kinds of stuff.
Are they not selling that?
I'm not sure.
I thought I saw that joint up for sale.
I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't seen much lately on it, so
Yeah.
maybe. I'm not sure though.
Okay. Yeah.
Something I wanted to ask is, I know like Sweat Pals is like big in Austin. Like, there's a lot of like events through Sweat Pals and things like that. Have you ever thought about doing like, marketing on there or private things on there? Because I see like there's these fitness and health events, and then when you go to sign up, it's like you sign up through Sweat Pals and things like that. So I didn't know if that was anything you were thinking about ever doing, or?
Oh yeah, we did our event today. Was an open gym event.
Okay.
Had a couple workouts scheduled. Cooler, all the things.
Yeah.
And some snacks. Just hanging out like we're doing here, and that was via Sweat Pals.
Okay.
So people signed up on Sweat Pals
Yeah.
in there. I definitely really love. I need to learn more about it.
Yeah.
I want to learn the business side of it. I want to
Yeah.
learn the activation and partnership side of it.
Yeah.
But super easy to use, user friendly as
Yeah.
far as scheduling your events.
Yeah.
Is it like a app you go through to like find different events going,
Yeah, it's like
fitness events going on in Austin?
Yes, that's
Gotcha.
exactly what it is. It's just like an interface that has a bunch of events. You can find them on there. If like Marlon has an event, in a couple Saturdays, probably have like sign up through Sweat Pals link, and then you can kind of check RSVPs and things like that, and it'll have like a description of what it is and things like that as well. So it's pretty. I see it popping. It's in I don't know if it started in Austin, but I know like they're popping off in different cities. They have like Sweat Pals, Dallas, whatever.
That's a
They
fire
give you really
concept.
good data too.
Yeah.
They give you really good data. Like, that's how, as a business owner, you make decisions, right? So like, that aspect's really cool.
And then another thing too, when I first got here, you had a lot of the rain products, in the cooler.
Yeah.
And I was talking to you, there's a ton of brands here in Austin, especially since it's so health and wellness based. Energy drinks, health drinks, hydration. And then you obviously have like, even just like snacks and perishables and things like that. I guess far as like partnerships with like activations and things like that, has that something you've been exploring, and maybe bringing on like a full-time drink sponsor or perishable sponsor to kind of pair with these mobile workouts?
Yeah, I definitely want to do it more. Man, we're lucky because, product placement. We're right here in the park, and so I'll just be chilling, man. And Zilker Park, there has to be probably 1 million people to come through every month, right? 100,000, whatever the math is on that. So naturally, the monster just kind of came through, saw the truck. They're like, oh man, this is cool. Started talking to them, like, you need any samples? Boom. So I definitely want to do that more, man. My goal, just going back to like finding who our people are, like who's gonna be a raving fan for ALLINFIT, who kind of fits into what we're doing. Those activations become an important part of that.
Yeah.
Now, right now, we're early in the game with that, so it's like, you got energy drinks, boom, yeah, let's do it. Like, we have the truck, people come up here y'all seen it, like every 5-10 minutes, there's someone new. And so that was kind of the goal when we got this truck, is that we want to position this into Zilker Park where it's active and people are not used to doing something like this. So those brand partnerships become a pretty big deal. You know what I mean? It's a pretty good, advertisement for them because people are constantly coming up to the truck. And so to have that cooler here, so I want to do it more, bro, to be honest with you. I'm kind of wearing a lot of hats, so I can't.
Yeah, for sure. I get that.
I do have some more help now, so thank God for that.
Yeah, team's important.
Yeah, so, but yeah, we're gonna definitely tap in more with other companies.
Another idea I thought of. Well, I know you're wearing a lot of hats. I don't know. Add another one, but have you ever thought about adding like a yoga instructor to here? And since you are in Zilker Park, and there is a lot of people out here, and
Yeah,
I mean, people do yoga all the time. So, and it's outside in the grass, you know. So, you ever thought about adding like a yoga instructor too?
Yeah. So, man, funny thing is, we do open gym once a month. Now we're about to put it on ice until we find a new location outside of Zilker. But we did open gym 2 months ago in June, and it was bananas. Actually partnered with, and give a shout out to Jevity. They got a co-working wellness space opening up soon. And the co-founder of that does yoga. So she lives in my building. We talked about doing an event together, and it was great. People get yoga. They see yoga. They get this, and honestly, and no offense to anybody, but one of the most questions I get is, so how does it work? right? Or, so what do you do? In my mind before, I'm like, well, we got fitness equipment. It's obviously that we're mobile, and you know what I mean? And in the back of my head, right?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like it takes people some time to kind of like, the market's a little bit of time to catch up to something new. You know, I got another partner that owns a company out in San Antonio. They do like these gun shooting thing, like not real guns, but like, I forget what you call them. But anyways, new concept, the only one in San Antonio. And it took them a while to get up and going. But when you can have something that people get, right? People get yoga. They see yoga, it's like, oh, and they're in front of the truck. And so it makes it a little bit more warm and fuzzy to go into it. So have I thought about it? Yes, we did it, and it popped off. Like, it was a really good day for us and for them. And I would love to do that more. And, you know, we just got to find the right people, obviously, to facilitate that.
Cool. And then last thing for me, you'd mentioned, you know, you have a team, you know, your wife, and then your other coach, Simone.
Simone, yeah.
Kind of like, what's been that process of expanding that out, and is there any, you know, thoughts on, you know, expanding it out more, you know, future?
Yeah, most definitely, man. You know, Simone is like our performance training and operations manager. So he's you know, we're very different from each other. You know, he's a mechanical engineering background from UT. You know, we found him actually via Sweat Pals event, I think, like over a year ago. And, you know, he was working somewhere and he's like, man, I always wanted to do this. And so, you know, that's how we met. And so for him, I needed somebody that can kind of go to the truck and look at things and kind of like fix it when it's needed. And then I have a couple other ladies that's been working with us on like the community engagement aspect. So putting the events together, making sure people are being engaged. So, well, it was up there, but making sure people are like tapping into our group chat, all of those things. You know, going to networking events, like they help kind of get that out there. So the community engagement aspect, and then just good coaches, man. Like our product is at the end of the day, like community and fitness. So we need people that kind of are going to be passionate, that love being outdoors, and can just engage with people, right? So as we continue to go, I mean, obviously we get more coaches. Eventually, what I really could benefit from is just a marketing arm, someone to kind of take that up another notch. Yeah, for sure. But like that's kind of like the main things. I'm more the visionary. I need more integrators. And so that's kind of like what I look at as far as expanding this out right now. I mean, I have a whole org chart that like, you know, that has all the different C-suites and all the stuff that I want. Yeah. Because like, the name of our company is ALLINFIT. Like that's how I'm a hot and cold guy. Yeah. So like, you know, I have to, whatever I do, it has to be like 100%. So I always think about multiple of these trucks and other cities and all that. So yeah, eventually I want whole C-suite board. For now, I'm just kind of keeping it simple and just, you know, whoever can help with just driving traffic and engaging with people, community engagement, ambassadors. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm looking for right now.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to ask? I can ask it on the mic since you're over there.
What do you drive when you're not driving this? And when you first started driving this, was it an adjustment?
All right, so he asked, what do you drive when you're not driving the truck, and was it an adjustment when you do have to drive the truck, or when you first got the truck?
Yeah, so kind of. You know, it's bumpy. There's a lot of weight in there, so it's about 17,000 pounds. So
do you feel it when you press the gas?
Bro, I hit a bump one time. One time, my butt literally left the chair. Like I literally bounced up like that when I hit it. I was like, damn. So that kind of threw me off guard. Man, I drive a Mazda, man. When we moved downtown, we're like, we don't really need both cars. So I sold the car I had, and my wife and I share a vehicle. And, you know, everything we do is like down. We walk to the grocery store and everything. So it's a Mazda. Y'all see me get out of there, y'all might be like, damn, how you fit in there? So it's an adjustment from that car to the truck. Yeah. But it's all good, man. We're simple folks, man. We just like to build what we do and go home, watch Netflix. Like, yeah, we don't need anything too crazy.
You watching that Any Given Saturday?
Oh,
It's the SEC documentary.
I think I
series
seen
they
the
did.
first one. Did they have an episode on UT? Or was that before?
No. So-
they,
I thought
so
so.
they're in it, but they don't have like
Yeah.
their own episode.
Why not?
Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, Oklahoma,
Texas.
and Texas all opted out to not be in it.
Wow.
Yeah. Not sure, honestly. Maybe because they don't need it. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe there's maybe some contract things. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
and those
Okay.
are all like the bigger brands, but outside of Ole Miss,
Wait, so it's Alabama, UT, and who else opted out?
Oklahoma and
Oklahoma.
Georgia and Ole Miss. Yeah,
Okay.
But like Alabama's in it, Texas is in it. Like
They're in it being played
but they're
against,
not
but
like
they're
being
not-
interviewed or
yeah.
behind the scenes and everything.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's pretty. It gets you pumped. It gets you ready for
I love
football.
that
You should
stuff,
watch
man.
it.
Yeah,
You
we
should
watched
watch
the
it.
first one, I think, with LSU.
Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I got to catch the other ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anything from you?
No, that was it. I just, thankful for the opportunity. It's cool to see, meeting you initially to, kind of keeping up with each other on social media and then seeing it now and, getting the chance to sit down with you, have a conversation, learn more about you. And any way we can help you in the future, love to talk about that, and continue to help you build this thing that you got going.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right,
Building this business with your wife, what is the thing what is the best part about it, and what has been the part that you've had to navigate through as far as adjusting that?
So yes, building this business with your wife. What is the best part about it, and what are the parts that you had to navigate through
That may have been challenging or kind of like adjustments.
that may have been challenging?
Who does want to build a business
Yeah.
or be in business with their partner?
That does want to be in business with their partner.
Well, number one, I'm gonna say that a lot of the content's been popping up lately. Y'all follow the young cat that does the School of Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I know of him. I've seen his stuff. I know he's
Okay.
Austin based. He's been going crazy.
He's been going bananas.
Yeah.
And he interviews a lot of successful people.
Yeah.
And one of the common responses to what's one of the best decisions you've made or best financial decisions, and they go back to their wife, the partner you pick. Will be
100%.
can either really help you, or it can really end up in a bad situation. So, that's number one. So it's been a blessing, first and foremost. That's my rock. She's supportive for me, man. As I said, I'm gonna be doing a testimony tomorrow at my church, just speaking a little bit about that journey. And so the second thing too, man, is we're two different people. She don't even like riding this truck. Like, she don't even like. We had. You see these doors right here? We had one of these doors fly off on the highway 3 months into having
Wow.
the truck. I almost quit that day. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Like I literally almost quit
Yeah.
that day because I was like, damn, like what? How did? So it flew off on the highway. But yeah, we're two different people, man. Like I said, like I'm the kite, she's a string. So we bump heads sometimes on like certain decisions that I think are best. And sometimes I gotta be like, hey, babe, you right. I should have
100%.
did that. And you know what? We should do that. So it's a blessing. It's definitely moments where we bump heads, but she's kind of like a board member at this point. She's a full-time, successful attorney,
Love that. Yeah.
doing her thing. So, get a lot of game from her on that side as
Yeah.
well, and how like they're structuring things and the
Yeah.
protocols they have. But yeah, it's a blessing, man. And it's just, it tests your faith. Like our faith, like we've had this 2 years, like that's when our faith journey really started, man. You really don't know who you are until you go through stuff. This has been everything but easy. And we still here. So we actually just talked about this a couple weeks ago. I know I'm going on and on.
No, you're good.
But we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and we're like, if we never started this, where would our faith be at this point? We wouldn't have done this. We wouldn't have done that. We wouldn't have been or gone through any of these things. So, man, this truck, bro, it's been my heartache. It's been my pain, but it's also been my joy. And we not stopping. We turning it up. And yeah, man. So I would say like it's a blessing. It grew our faith a lot. So our faith is growing like crazy. And that's kind of the main things, man. So shout out to my wife, Christiana.
Shout out to all the wives and the girlfriends that hold it down for us, man.
Hold
It's
it
not
down.
it's not an easy job, being with us men, because We just do dumb stuff and say
Yeah.
dumb things, and
It'd be
then we
us.
think we could do it all, you know.
Right.
But shout out them, man.
We be the problem most of the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. One last thing for me.
Yeah.
Sorry to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
But would you mind giving us a closing prayer to this podcast?
Oh man, yeah. No, I would not mind. Cool. God, just thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for these gentlemen here and what they're doing. God, may we lean more on you and less on us. God, you order our steps. You are there even when we think that you are not. God, you are everything. And as soon as we realize that is as soon as things start to actually work out. God, I pray for these men and what they're building. They're doing a lot of great work. God, thank you for this day out here in Austin. God, may we just continue to serve you and serve others first and keep you first no matter what. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Awesome. Well, that
Appreciate
was awesome and super fun, and grateful for the the conversation, the camaraderie, and like I said earlier, like any way we can help you out, I know we'll be in touch and start planning some things. I know you got some cool things on the way, and any ideologies, anything we can do to help you out, we'd love to. So thank you again for
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, like you said, anything we can do for you, we're more than happy to help. And then thank you for taking time out your day and doing this. I know this is your place of business, and you want people to come up here and do the workouts and whatnot. But taking an hour out your day to do this, we appreciate it. It means a lot.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Cool. Well, that'll do it for your boys over here at Opinionated. We'll catch y'all guys next time. Peace.
Peace.